Hey guys, this is Cam215 and I'm back at it with another Pokemon 2019, 2020, whatever you want to call it, video review for you guys. And we are here to review episode 21. Episode 21 I think was much better than episode 20 from last week, but this anime keeps... Man, they are trying to make a dream team in this anime for Ash Ketchum. I'm just gonna say this hands down. This might be one of his best teams. Or well, not one of his best teams, but one of his like best, Pokemons he's ever caught in one region. I'm going to get into that for a second. So, anyways, the episode starts off with this at the Pokemon Center where this and this regular person who sounds like Chopper. Like I swear, it's Chopper's voice. Um, anyways, so I don't know who's starting something up. Hold on a second. Sorry for that interruption. Sorry for that. Had to take care of something. But anyways, it starts off in the Pokemon Center. Then Nurse Joy goes to the back. There's this Pokemon egg. Just she's observing and she's taking notes and stuff like that to see if it's anything's happened. So we get to the Pokemon lab and essentially Professor Okaido, or we find out some information that Professor Okaido, his apprentice was Professor Elm. If you do not remember who Professor Elm is, he is the professor in the Johto region, or the main Johto region professor. So I guess it's interesting tidbit that ties something together, more good continuity things. So, anyways, they were talking about Jesus, a lot of text messages. They're talking about how eggs are like, they're essentially talking about eggs and like how Pokemon lay eggs because, just now I guess now they're bringing up the fact how do Pokemon actually lay their eggs and stuff like that, which it's a mystery to this day. So essentially they're talking about how eggs being how Pokemon lay eggs is such a mystery and stuff like that. And essentially, Go and Ash go to try to find an egg to essentially look after and take care of, essentially. So they go out. And actually, quick little thing. This will probably be a nitpick, but I think I might actually say this like almost every week. When are they going to update the opening? Again, like I said last week. If you didn't see last week's video, one check that out. But my thing is this: they updated the opening, or maybe not the opening. They updated the ending, and they made like a brand new ending. Where's the brand new opening to change at least Score Bunny out to Reboot? I know it's some small change, but it's like you need to update your openings, please and thank you. Score Bunny is not a Score Bunny anymore. It's a Reboot now. But anyways, like I was saying, Go comes across what it looks like to be a Pokemon egg, but if we later find out that it's just an Execute. He catches the Execute again without battling it. So still using Pokemon Go mechanics, and Go is literally brings nothing to this episode whatsoever. It's literally an Ash focused episode, which I'm actually more interested in Ash filler episodes than Go filler episodes and stuff like that. Goes to show how much and I don't see. I don't hate Go. It's just Go is not interesting character. There's nothing that makes him special. Like there's nothing that makes him special. It's just catch Pokemon and then move on. That's it with Go's character. Just catch Pokemon essentially. Like what special characteristic does he bring to the show? Like he's just really there for pure comedic moments and then catching Pokemon, like I said. Anyways, this Pokemon World Battle competition comes across, and he gets an alert that this battler wants to fight him. And essentially, this person challenges Ash, and his name is Hashibai from Fuchsia City, and he fights using the Tauros, essentially. It is interesting. Again, continuity. It's cool to see a trainer from Fuchsia City. Like last week, we got a trainer all the way from, I believe, the no, from the Johto region. So it's another, it's another region. It's another region. Well, it's actually no, like Fuchsia's in the Kanto region. So it's another connection to, again, continuity from Kanto. Ash fights the Toros, and I know they had to speed up the battle really quickly, but Ash's Pikachu kind of gets owned, but Ash's Pikachu essentially one hit KOs the freaking Toros with Thunderbolt. So yes, at least they're keeping the continuity of how strong Pikachu is. That technically Pikachu's been through a lot of battles. He should be able to beat, you know, random trainers by one hit KOing them, and stuff like that. We do not get, where Ash is currently ranked at, so they did not release that information. I will say this world battle competition, it is cool to see that, they implement it every now and then. Like they're just having some random, trainer from a city from a different region just come across us and be like, hey, let's battle. I still hope and I wish what they do is with this is they actually bring back a past rival from one of the past seasons, like maybe a Paul. I do not want to see Trip, whatever, but a Sawyer or somebody, maybe a Lawn. That would be a stretch, but why don't you bring those characters back if you're gonna? It's like this anime has like many ways to bring back former characters from past seasons of Pokemon. I just don't know why they don't do that. Yes, obviously you're gonna have to get their voice actor to come back, but it's like, well, we want to see Paul again. Doing the Pokemon World competition thing or Pokemon, World Battle competition thing would be a great way to bring back previous rivals, and stuff like that. Things like that. Anyways, after the fight's over, Ash gets this feeling of some kind of like presence or aura, and he's like, "Man, I feel weird, like something's calling out to me." So essentially, the egg, at the same time, the egg cuts to the egg and the egg starts moving because essentially it's giving off that aura and feeling it. Essentially, they go, Ash and go to go to the Pokemon Center to go heal Pikachu because his tail was kind of beat up a bit from the fight. And when Pikachu's fully recovered, Ash actually walks into the room where the egg is being harbored at, and Nurse Joy gives him the egg, and she says, "Yeah, it's from the daycare center. I got it from a daycare center, but this egg originated from the Sinnoh region." So it is interesting. Again, another region continuity thing. We get a reference to Sinnoh, even though it's just the Sinnoh region. One, it makes sense for the case that Riluyu came from Sinnoh because I think Riluyu's first evolution form was from Sinnoh. So yeah. Um, Now it cuts back to the Pokemon lab, and they're just talking. And Go makes a point like, Pokemon X can hear us. I don't think X can hear you. Then Professor Okaido gives a story. It's saying how like this Jigglypuff was singing, and the egg was listening in on it. And the moment it broke out, it hatched into an Azurill, and it started singing the exact same song as Jigglypuff because it heard it. It was pretty funny. Actually, it was hilarious. I was actually cracking up. So, anyways, in the middle of the night, the egg starts hatching. Pikachu wakes up Ash, and then once the egg hatches, like I said earlier, we find out the egg is actually Riluyu. And at first, Riluyu is just looking around like he's all suspicious. He eventually uses Vacuum Wave on Ash to push him away. Then he jumps out the window, and then all of a sudden, and essentially, he goes on fighting like these different Pokemon. I don't know why. He just starts fighting the Pokemon. Ash and Go split up to look for him because Ash is like, well, it's still essentially like a baby Pokemon, so it doesn't know what the hell it's doing or crazy things. The Riolu just keeps getting into these fights with these random Pokemon. Like one was Poliwrath, another one was Diglett. I think no, not Diglett, but I think it was Dugtrio. Another one was Butterfree. And then the Rilu's climbing this mountain, and then essentially runs into this Onyx. Riolu is doing a good job against an Onyx on its own, but then it essentially is getting beat down. Ash shows up and no later, and then when Ash steps in, Riolu can feel the aura coming off Ash, and then he was remembering that, oh wait, it's this guy that who's giving off that aura. So I'm guessing what Riolu was doing was trying to go back to the original place where he felt that feeling, and then once Ash, did that, and made him feel that, he essentially is now like, oh, this is the person I was looking for. So essentially, Ryu kind of kicks Pikachu to the side, and Ryu battles with Ash, and they team up, and then they beat the Onyx. So yeah, and then Ryu, since he was fighting so many different Pokemon, he was essentially pretty beat up and weak. Ash said I could carry you on my back, but Ryu was kind of being a tough guy, and he was like, no, I don't need to freaking be carried and stuff like that. And then Ash does make a point that the Ryu that you're a pretty stubborn one. So they eventually um, walk to the Pokemon Center, and then they get healed. They heal the Ryu, and Ash looks like he wants to pick up Ryu, but Ryu still is like, no, 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 don't. I'm stubborn and stuff like that. And then essentially, in his way, is telling Ash like, yo, I want to be partners with you. So then Ash catches Ryu, and then the episode ends off with the thumbnail of this video, and stuff like that. This week's episode was really good a really good episode of Pokemon. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun. Um, One, Jesus, Ash's team is insane. He's got Pikachu that is like one hit KOing Pokemon. He's got Dragonite, Gengar, and now add Riluyu to the bunch. And I think they're saying that, he might end up getting Sobble, and which Sobble, in my personal opinion, is my least favorite out of the starters of Galar. But yeah, they're saying like with that one trailer they showed, you know, um, it's showing that I was gonna get a Sobble, and then apparently Lycanroc's going to, I guess, make a return or come back. And this is Lycanroc from Sun and Moon if it's the dust form Lycanroc. So it's looking like his team's gonna be pretty stacked. Like Jesus, they just gave him Dragonite and Dragonite, Gengar, and Riluyu, who we don't know is gonna maybe possibly evolve into Lucario. Um, it could be the reason why they're putting on the tough guy act. Like I said, this is a crazy team. Honestly, this might end up being one of my favorite Ash teams he has, because this dude has a Dragonite, which, when Pokemon first started, people thought it was a legendary, but essentially it's a pseudo legendary for Kanto. Gengar. Gengar's a powerhouse. Jeez Louise. And now he's got Riluyu possibly that can possibly evolve into Lucario. Man, talk about movie 8 vibes with that Riluyu, especially if it evolves into Lucario. Talk about movie 8 vibes. That will definitely bring back movie 8 vibes, if you really like that movie. So, yeah, it was a good episode. I liked it a lot. It was cool to see. Now Ash has got another Pokemon, well, powerhouse, future powerhouse to his team, and it's only growing, especially with the fact that apparently he's going to get Sobble and Dust Lycanroc is going to come back. So who knows where this series is going? Next week it looks like to be another. It just looks like to be another boring filler episode, which brings nothing. Like it's gonna talk about Wurmples and something like that, and Zigzagoons, and I'm like, It's like this Pokemon series has some high moments where it's like, oh, this looks really freaking cool, and then you see the next episode preview, you're like, oh, that's gonna be what's happening next week. Well, it seems like next week is gonna be pretty doggone boring. It's like I said last week, and this is my thing with this Pokemon series. I know they got the World Championship things going on, but I feel like they need to make that much more of a thing, or use episodes to develop Go's character more so we can get people to like him. Um, they're giving us this repeated Pokemon filler stuff, and no Go's gonna catch, I guess, the Pokemon of the week next week because it's always something. Um, Execute was a Pokemon of the week. even though Riluyu is the Pokemon of the week, but in terms of egg stuff, Execute was the Pokemon of the week. Go catches. So yeah, like I said, I just need this Pokemon series. It looks good, but my only thing it's lacking is it has no clear cut direction this anime wants to go into. Essentially, it's just a bunch of filler. It's just a bunch of filler. You have some of these episodes that good to the point and contribute to the main storyline. But then you have, like, for example, what looks like next week's episode is going to be just purely BS filler in this Pokemon episode, catering to whatever story it is. It happened with last week. It's like, every other week or every 2 weeks, they tend to make a main episode be focused mainly on the characters and have a point in the story. Then they go to side filler that is not interesting. And you can say, well, in the past Pokemon seasons, yes, they had all those side fillers, but yes, it wasn't as much as it is. Mostly because really there is a main point to the story. Like there's something, that Ash is striving to go to. Yes, he's striving to go to the World Championships stuff more, but I would like to see that more than anything else. I know probably asking for too much, but that's just me. You know, I still think that they should do. I still think they could have had all this thing, but they could have did all this in the Galar region. They could have went back to the gym challenges stuff. I would have really loved to see that type of stuff in the anime where Ash actually fights in a stadium against the gym leader. That would have been cool. You know, maybe that's how they'll incorporate the Pokemon World Championship battles. It'll be like, well, how about this? You can get higher rankings if you beat the Galar gym leaders, because we did see Sonya in that trailer. So, like I said, this is apparently the Gen 8 anime, yet we barely get any Gen 8 Pokemon. If not, the only Gen 8 Pokemon we get are Yamper and Reboot. That's really it. Everything else, it's just Gen 1 stuff with a little hidden references from other generations. It's like, I didn't come here to watch Generation 1 again. I came here to see Generation 8 and what they have to offer in the anime. They show Generation 8 Pokemon in the ending. They show Zacian. I'm like, okay, if you're going to show Gen 8 Pokemon, please give us Gen 8 stuff. It's like I said, I don't know why they're doing this. I like the fact that they're doing the World Championship stuff, but it's like, why are we technically in the Kanto region? Shouldn't Ash... I wish this was stationed in the Galar region, and they still did the same things here, but they did it in Galar, which means we could see more Galar Pokemon. It's just me. I'm done venting, but yeah. The Riolu, it looks like it's gonna be an interesting character. It's like I said, it looks like it's gonna be that stubborn character that doesn't want Ash's help, but when it comes, but it's gonna be like one of those big softy type of Pokemons. Like he doesn't like to show that soft side of his, and he tries to be all cool and stuff like that. But every now and then he'll be that soft sided self, and like I said, he'll have to be that soft sided self if he's gonna have to evolve into Rilu into not Riluyu Lucario, because Lucario evolves by friendship. So obviously him and Ash are gonna have to be super freaking close, which I have all the confidence in the world Ash will freaking get close to this Riluyu and make this Riluyu actually be like, okay, I'm down for a hug. But I think the moment it evolves into Lucario, I think it'll be like not about that life. It'll be like the tough Pokemon. It is cool to see because one, Ash is getting a Riluyu, which could have possibly evolved into Lucario, and if that's the case, he'll be getting a Pokemon he couldn't beat till X and Y. Lucario for the most part was his freaking kryptonite. Now he's got the real Lucario line. So we're gonna see where this goes. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see where this series goes. I do like the fact that he caught the Riluyu, and yeah. But other than that, I'm going to get out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. So other than that, if you like this video, leave a like. If there's comments you want to put regarding this episode, put it in the comment section, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more Pokemon episode review content for Pokemon 2019, 2020, whatever it's called. So other than that, I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.